What's going on, guys? It's your boy Dre Bone 777 again, and I'm back. And this is part 2 of why Nintendo really doesn't care about their consumers. Now, in the last video, I'm gonna summarize it before I get in depth with part 2. But anyway, in the last video, I was talking about how Nintendo really didn't care about us because the fanboy loyalist mainly talks about how much Nintendo makes a profit from their consoles, rather than talking about the quality and the value of their consoles. So mainly what I'm saying is they're talking about how much money Nintendo makes off their consoles, rather than talking about people actually enjoying or using their products. Another thing I said was that they keep bringing out the same thing over and over again, like Mario and Pokemon. It's basically the same thing over and over again, just under different skins, using different controller schemes and stuff like that. Now, and I've also said that they don't have a lot of third-party support, and they're supposed to be a company mainly about games. That just makes no sense. So let me get more in depth with this. Now, if Nintendo really did care about their consumers, why is sales the most important thing when you're making an argument? You know, why don't we talk more about the quality of their games? Why don't we talk about the specs and all that stuff? That's important. That tells you how much you really are going to enjoy your product, not the sales. Sales won't make you enjoy anything, you know. And I don't even see why sales is really that important to you when you're not getting none of this money. It's not going in your pocket. You know, you don't own any stock, you're not a shareholder, anything like that. So why does sales really matter? And if sales really do matter to you, then answer me this: how come Nintendo makes that much money off of their products, and then why didn't none of that money goes towards the power of their new console, the Wii U? Why didn't none of that money go towards the Wii U to make it a little stronger? Didn't have to be as strong as the PS4 or the 720, but it should have been a lot stronger than the PS3 and the Xbox 360. We should have seen a difference too, much of a difference. That's how I'm telling you that they're trying to get out on you guys. They really are. And now you guys might say, well, I don't agree with you, Dre Bone, because, you know, Nintendo's mainly about the games and the specs really shouldn't matter. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now. Specs really do matter. And you guys really weren't saying that specs didn't matter until the Nintendo Wii came out. Let's be honest, you really weren't saying that until the Wii came out. You know you wasn't saying this, period. I know when I was growing up, we was looking forward to technology to advance in gaming. We wanted to see better specs. We wanted to see the graphics advanced, you know, or enhanced, I should say. We wanted to see that. And now you're saying that you don't want to see shit get better? I just don't understand. And you're saying that it's not innovative on power. Power does show innovation, actually. It's shown that what your console in the previous generation didn't have, that the console in the future will have. That's what the power does. And here's why specs are important too. Specs is telling you that you're really getting what you're paying for. Like, if you buy some shit cheap, expect that shit to be cheap. That's what's happening to the Wii U. It's like the shit is on crutches now, because they're not getting no support. And everybody keeps saying that the developers are lazy. It's not the developers' fault. It's Nintendo's fault. They didn't make their system powerful enough, and they water shit down. The specs are important because it also affects how long the gameplay will be. You know, I hear you guys complaining about games not being long enough, you know, for single player games. You know, you don't get enough hours out of it. That's what the specs is important for, because they need that power to make the shit a lot longer, to last longer too. See, that's why specs are very important. That's why you need power behind your console, so you can get longer hours and shit like that. It don't have to have the best graphics, but you should have more power so that you can get longer gameplay. And how is Nintendo mainly focused on gaming when you're getting the shortened version of games when it comes to third-party games? You know, you're always missing content and shit like that, whereas the other guys actually have it. I don't understand how you're saying you're gamers when you're getting shorthand versions of games, or when games ain't being or when games are being announced and they're not actually coming to the Wii U. You'd be like, oh, we didn't need that game anyway. Now that tells you that you're really not worried about games. You don't care about the games. That's what that is saying. You know, and all you're playing is just fucking Mario. You know, Pokemon and shit like that. We don't want to just play that. We want to get some third-party games on the Wii U, not watered down, not missing DLC and other content, shit like that, like I explained in the last video. That's why specs is really important. Plus, we want to, like I said, you get what you pay for. We want to see technology go up, not go behind. And that's another thing too. Like, it seems like Nintendo's been too cheap with everything. Like, it seems like they're falling behind tremendously. Like, they finally got HD in the year 2012, whereas the other consoles had it in 2005, 2006. Like, that makes no sense to me. In fact, fucking smartphones had HD before fucking a console. Now that right there is scaring me, when they're saying that a smartphone is actually having better tech than a fucking console. You see, I hate when people like Phone Dog and other websites is saying that the smartphone might be your next console. You see, that's why we want technology to get advanced too, because we do not want to see a smartphone being the next console. Although I would say it would be cool, but you know, we don't want that. It would have some problems. You know what I'm saying? That's why we want Nintendo to do better with their consoles. But Nintendo don't even have multi-touch on their touchscreen controller. Don't have multi-touch. You know, and then there were phones that were out before the Wii U came out that actually did have HDMI. You know, I mean, if you heard of the Evo 4G, which was probably the best selling phone for Sprint, and it was actually very good. I used to actually have one. I used to do online gaming with it. It was pretty good. You know, you had that, you had the Droid X, you had the Motorola Photon. There was other phones with the HDMI ports on it, you know, and phones going with native 1080p displays and stuff like that. Tablets as well. Can't forget about the iPhone. It does 1080p and it can record in 1080p as well. So if phones are able to do stuff like that, why shouldn't a console be able to do that, when a console is meant to be a lot more powerful than a phone? You know, because you got a motor inside of a console. That's one thing. So it's going to draw more electricity. You got more parts inside of a console. You know, it can dissipate heat, if you get what I'm saying. It can hold more storage. That's why a console should be more powerful than a phone. And some people will say, well, you know, a phone and a console really shouldn't compare to each other, but they do, because they're computers technically, you know, but the functionalities might be a little bit different, but they both are computers, if you understand what I'm saying. But anyway, though, I'm rambling on too much. Like I said, Nintendo needs to really step their game up, because they're falling behind in technology. And if it is really all about gaming, then why ain't there really any games on their on their device. Why isn't there any games on their console? And they're really worried about getting the real gamers back. And they're saying that we're not gamers, but yet you'll dismiss the idea of this game being on your console when the companies and developers are saying that, well, this game can't come on there because the Wii U don't have a lot of power. And one more thing though, if the developers really are lazy, why are they coming out and saying that it really does not work on the Wii U? I think I'm going to go with what the developers say than what a fanboy would say. Because they're the ones that make this shit. They make the games, not you. Not only that, they want more power. That, like I said, is part of innovation. Not just controllers, but the power though behind the system. It will show that it will show what this console will have that the previous one didn't have. So Nintendo needs to step their game up and quit giving you bullshit. They're all about profit. I'm sorry to say it like that. They're about profit. They don't give a shit about their fans. They don't give a shit about their consumers. Period. Anyway, I'm Dre Bone 777 and I'm out. And send some feedback. I don't care if you like or dislike. Just send some fucking feedback. I want to hear what motherfuckers got to say about this one. Are you gonna fucking defend this shit or are you gonna fucking agree? Anyway, Dre Bone 777 and I'm out. Peace.